Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Jose Negron. And right now, I'm just going to give you some tips on how to limit the exposure to C-19. First of all, please wear a mask. And I'm going to show you the proper way to wear a mask. Okay? As you can see, my mask is fully covering my nose and my mouth. And there's like a little metal strip here, so I can make it as not fit. Now I'm going to show you the proper way to remove a mask. So you're going to take your finger and you're going to do that. Simple, right? Now I've seen a lot of people who wear masks, excuse me, like this. It's not an effective way because you still can be exposed to C-19. So the correct way is covering your nose and mouth completely, and then use your finger to remove it, your mask. Other tips is practice social distancing, which is basically what you are doing is you're maintaining at least 6 feet distance from anyone that you do not know. Once you get to your final destination, whether it be home, whether it be your job, whether it be a doctor's office or what have you, wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And if you don't know how long 20 seconds is, you can try saying the happy birthday song twice. Now, if for some reason you're not able to wash your hands, make sure that you carry a bottle of hand sanitizer, which has at least 60% alcohol. And what you're going to do is you're going to add a little bit here, like this, and then you're going to do one of these. Voila. Simple, right? Now, I would suggest that you carry a bottle of hand sanitizer with you at all times, because there might be times that you go somewhere and then the bathroom's not available or there's no soap. Also, if you can, carry more than one mask, because these things do get soiled. And once they get soiled, the best thing you can do is discard them. Now, when I mean discard them, please place them in a garbage bag, in a garbage container. Do not throw them on the floor, because what happened is children are curious. They see a discarded mask and then they may start to play with it, and the next thing you know it, okay, well, you know what, Matt, Steve, that's your opinion. The fact of the matter is, masks do reduce the exposure to C-19. Okay, so please properly discard them in the trash receptacle, and also practice social distancing. Now, since the beginning of the onset of the pandemic, I've shared the following suggestion with everyone I have encountered, which is speak with your primary care physician, ask him or her questions regarding COVID-19, the symptoms, and if there are any side effects to the vaccines. Then, armed with that information, you decide what you choose to do. Now, bear in mind, if you do decide to get the vaccine, it does not mean that you're not going to get COVID-19. What it does mean, in most cases, it will reduce the effects of COVID-19 to most people. Now, unfortunately, there have been reports of people that actually have died. So my advice is the following. If you choose to get the vaccines, fine. If you choose not to get the vaccines, then please reduce the exposure to C-19 by properly wearing a mask, practice social distancing, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, and get tested on a regular basis so you will know that you are okay. Now, I'm going to share some other tips what you can do. Now, when you go to supermarket to buy groceries or you go to a restaurant, if you feel comfortable, use a debit card. Why? Because what you're doing is you are electronically paying for your groceries or you're paying for your meal. Some people may not feel comfortable using the debit card, and that's perfectly fine. My suggestion is this. If you're going to use cash, see how I'm holding this dollar bill? I am occupying, my fingers occupying a small space. So therefore, when you give your money to the cashier or to the waiter, that person has a lot of space that they can take your money. And your fingers does not touch the fingers of the other person. Okay? Again, it all has to do with trying to take steps to reduce exposure to C-19. Now, another question people ask a lot is, if it's safe to fly? There are many people flying. However, be mindful. If you're going to fly, when you get to the airport, you're going to be instructed by uniformed personnel to put on a mask and keep the mask on from the point that you check in to the point that you get to the plane, till you get to your seat, to the point that you get to your destination, and to the point that you leave the airport. The only time that you're going to be allowed to remove your mask is when you're eating or drinking beverages. There have been too many stories of passengers becoming belligerent because of the fact that someone told them that they have to wear a mask. Now, I can understand it's kind of hard to wear one of these things when it's a hot, muggy day and the temperature in the 90s. But my question is this. Would you prefer to get C-19? As of today, over 630,000 people in this country have passed away due to C-19. Meaning, there have been people who have lost parents, spouses, siblings, children, nephews and nieces, friends and neighbors, and other loved ones. Now, there are some people who, for medical reasons, cannot get the vaccines. And I say, fine, please do what you can to reduce exposure. And let's keep it real. There is a great deal of mistrust of our government, which has led for people to be very hesitant to get any of the vaccines, which is perfectly fine. All I'm saying is, any concerns, please speak with your primary care physician. And make sure you ask questions. And then you decide what is your course of actions. If you want to get the vaccine, any one of the vaccines, fine. If you choose not to get any of the vaccines, as long as you take the necessary actions needed to without reduced exposure to C19, also fine. What's not okay is that you don't get the vaccines and you don't take any steps to try to reduce exposure, because what you're doing is you're putting your health at risk, and you could be spreading C19 to others without you knowing. Because there have been people who gotten C19 and they didn't know they had it. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just simply stating facts. And unfortunately, people have politicized this crisis since day one. You have people shaming others for not getting the vaccine. You have people mocking others for getting the vaccine. You have people mocking others for wearing a mask. People, we are in a health crisis. And if there's ever a time that we need to support each other, it is right now. That being said, before I go, I would encourage you to please subscribe, like the channel, and hit the bell notification. So therefore, you could be notified whenever I upload content. That being said, I'm going to close the same way that I always close. People, please be careful out there, because we're still dealing with COVID-19. And we must do everything possible to reduce our contact with the intellectually and mentally challenged individuals. Because if we fail to do so, we will inherit their stupidity. That being said, take care, be blessed, and be safe. Bye.